Hello and welcome back to the Villains of the Body Image Crisis Part 2. Now in a previous semester, we had looked at the alarming rise in the use of recreational steroids and also the rise of skinny talk. And let me apologize for my hot take in that video, which was that these influencers just need to go back to lying about how they achieve these extreme physiques. I was young and immature at the time, and frankly, I think some of you are too woke for trying to hold me accountable for something I said way back in 2 weeks ago. But also, I don't think I was wrong. I just should have clarified that obviously the ideal is that nobody's taking steroids, or eating 500 calories a day. It's just that as long as social media exists and there's money to be made from selling these insecurities, these things aren't going anywhere, but maybe we just shouldn't be openly promoting them on platforms where there are 16-year-olds. And in today's episode, I will be tripling down because Kylie Jenner is being glazed up and down my FYP for her honesty because she responded to a TikTok asking her for the specifics of her boob job.
This is a TikTok for Kylie Jenner, okay? If you're not Kylie Jenner and you don't care about boob jobs, plastic surgery, just keep scrolling. Girl, please, can you just tell us? I promise you, my followers, lovely. Safe space on here. Please, can you just tell me, /us, /anyone that's interested, what it is that you asked for when you had your boobs done? To me, you have got what I am, looking for, to have done in terms of, a boob job.
Yes, Kylie, please, spill the beans. And side note, and this is no disrespect to this woman, but is it just me or does she sound like her operating system is, rebooting mid-TikTok?
You have got what I am, looking for, to have done in terms of, a boob job.
If you haven't planned out what you're going to say, you can just refilm it. You don't need to slowly and painfully assault the English language. But anyway, what's the point? Well, Kylie responded with the full specs of her chest, and here it is. 445cc, moderate profile, half under the muscle, silicone, Garth Fisher, and then hope for this helps, lol. Now I'm gonna be honest, I recognize probably 30% of the words in that comment. She sounds like she's giving out the passcode that you need to deactivate the nuke at the end of every Mission Impossible movie. 445cc, moderate profile, half under the muscle, silicone, Garth Fisher. But Kylie's getting a lot of positive reactions and press for this. It's being hailed as a groundbreaking move for celebrity transparency. The common refrain is that she's a girl's girl, she's one of us. And I, frankly, am confused. And I will explain my confusion. But first I want to talk about something else that's got me confused, which is the number of people surfing the web completely unprotected. And that's why I'm proud today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. If you've been watching this channel, you know I like to be loud on the internet, but that doesn't mean I don't value privacy and security when I'm online. Surfshark VPN is a super easy to use app and browser extension that allows you to use the internet without leaving any footprints behind. And there are so many benefits to having that extra layer of protection. For one, as a regular work from coffee shop guy, it's a huge plus to have peace of mind with Surfshark's encryption while using public Wi-Fi. And having a VPN also means that you can change your virtual location at any time with one click. You guys know I've been learning French. With Surfshark VPN, I could just change my location to France at any time and get so much more French language content on streaming sites like Netflix. And whatever streaming sites you're using, there's literally a whole world of other content that you just can't access unless you have a VPN. And all the other benefits of Surfshark are legit. 24/7 customer support, 3,200 plus servers in 100 countries, and unlimited devices with your subscription, so the whole family's protected. So don't wait around, go to surfshark.com/insco or use code INSCO at checkout for 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to giving the service a try. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. So, Kylie Jenner. Listen, I'm not a celebrity/influencer hater, though I know many of you are. Me personally, if you want to cut ads for mobile games and start a makeup company, I have no problem with that. However, glazing Kylie Jenner for being a girl's girl because she gave you her boob specs is crazy. Isn't this literally the family that started the modern craze of plastic surgery, or at least worsened it? Isn't this the boob job, Botox, butt implant clan that spent decades gaslighting you that they haven't done any major modifications to their bodies, and that all you need to do to look like them is buy X piece of clothing, X makeup, X skincare, whatever? But now Kylie Jenner is a hero for putting us onto her plastic surgeon. Got it. This is like giving a heroin addict a pass because they put you on to who their plug is. Yeah, you gotta go see my guy Garth Fisher. He's got the good stuff. Also, this man is rolling in all the press right now, so if you want, to get an appointment with him, you better move quickly because this man's rates are skyrocketing right about now. And again, I'm not anti-plastic surgery. I'm just saying maybe the correction our society needed was towards less plastic surgery, not towards being more open about plastic surgery. And it's the same exact argument that I had for the steroid use. Are fake natties, as in guys who lie about their steroid use, scum for lying to people? Yes, absolutely. But telling your followers on social media, which includes a lot of dip teens, how you run your steroid cycle is also not good. And it's the same thing with this new era of honest plastic surgery celebrities and influencers. Like Megan Fox, also getting glazed for going on Call Her Daddy and being upfront about her procedures.
Can we just talk about plastic surgery
Yeah,
since we're on
let's
this?
talk.
So I'm just going to go through all the things that I've done.
Love.
Because I feel like there's this...
And I know what you're thinking. Marc listens to Call Her Daddy? Of course I do. What do I look like, a fucking troglodyte? Do you think the ancient Greeks were ignorant to the philosophers of their time? No, of course not. So I will not be turning from the philosopher of our time, Alexandra Cooper.
It is a vacuum seal double hand twist gaga combo.
No.
Again, not denouncing cosmetic procedures in any way. I've had laser dermabrasion on my face. I've had Invisalign, which is like a BBL for your teeth. I'm not drawing any hard lines on what you should or shouldn't do with your body. However, there's a difference between that and lauding Kylie Jenner for being honest about what you need to do to have boobs like hers. Because if she was really being honest, she'd be honest that she has to take her face into the shop every year for the last decade because it needs to be tuned up like it's a rusty Pontiac because she has so many procedures that it's impossible to get off the train now. Is that the future we want for everybody? I'm just asking, how does this kind of transparency put us in a better place? Which it's not transparency because these celebrities will never be completely honest about everything they had done. Like literally this cost Kylie Jenner nothing because everybody already knew that she had a boob job. I do feel bad for that one poor girl who thought it was just a bra though. That's good. Keep that positive mindset. It'll do you well in life. But no, that's surgery. So we're essentially congratulating someone who clearly had plastic surgery for being honest that they had plastic surgery. So brave of her to admit that her boobs didn't triple in size through hard work and exercise. Same thing with when most of these influencers get work done and then make a TikTok about it, or a TikTok series explaining the process. So great for transparency, but also great for them because how else do you explain to your followers who see your face every single day why you no longer have eyelids?
Every morning, this is technically like the second day, but this is what it looks like. It honestly looks really scary. It's like black and blue. I still have my stitches in, but zero pain.
Yes, thanks for this, Brooke Schofield. And thank God I'm not the only one making these points, because here's one comment. The days when influencers just taught you how to apply makeup to hooded eyes, now we teach kids to cut them off. Which, yeah, what is this honesty about plastic surgery do to bring body standards back down to earth? All it really does, frankly, is move the body standard from the realm of the unattainable into the realm of the unaffordable. And it was already unaffordable, don't get me wrong. Truly, God bless you ladies. From the cost of the hair, the makeup, nails, these increasingly elaborate skincare routines. From a layman's perspective, it appears very not cheap to be a woman, especially if you're trying to keep up with all these trends. I mean, I'm still coasting off a single tub of Neutrogena Hydro Boost that I bought in 2018. It's starting to coagulate too, so I think in a year or two, I'll be able to use what's left to recaulk my bathtub. But this push to make plastic surgery a completely normal thing you do in life, on the same level of getting your hair done, is just going to tie wealth and beauty even closer together than they already are. Because we're not talking about an $80 moisturizer anymore. We're talking about surgeries that can cost like $15,000. Botox, several hundred. Lip filler, maybe $1,000. One of the most common comments I see on these celebrity or influencer before and afters is like, well, at least I know I'm not ugly, I'm just poor. And it's half a joke right now, but it's gonna become a factual statement. Because right now, the only thing holding back a tidal wave of cosmetic procedures is the quickly fading stigma of having that work done. Get rid of that, and then the only barrier left is just the cost of getting them done. In which case, I guess we're gonna see more after-paying Botox. And for larger surgeries, flying to lower standard of care countries. And no surgery is without risk. I mean, people die, women die, they don't respond well to implants, they end up in the ER, and regardless of all of that, they end up with a lot less money than they had before. Again, permanent, irreversible surgery we're talking about. And we're just kind of throwing it around now like we're deciding what toppings we want on a pizza. And you think they won't monetize this too? Because I guarantee they will. I mean, I'm looking into my crystal ball here, and I can tell you, I'm seeing Kylie Jenner branded breast implants, Angelina Jolie lip system. You don't think plastic surgeons will kick 5 to 10% to these celebrities to have a partnership like that? If you make clearly lip fillered lips, the standard, there's gonna be a lot of money to go around in filling those lips. And I don't hate money, but I do strongly dislike reinforcing the insecurities of teenagers in order to get them under the knife. Let's hear some stories, and I ain't talking Dr. Seuss.
If you are under the age of 18, don't get a nose job. Don't do it. Just take my advice, don't do it. Does not mean I regret my surgery whatsoever. It was the best decision I think I've ever made in my life. I wanted my nose done since I was like 9, but I was a little scared to get it done. By the age of 15 though, I had had enough. When I was 15, about to turn 16, I had a consult with my surgeon. Kind of funny, kind of terrible, but my consultation with him, he walked in, he looked at my nose and said, yeah, we're gonna take you from a 2 to a 10. Huh?
Nice job. Yeah, nice. And again, she's 15. And yeah, that plastic surgeon sounds like a psychopath. A lot of plastic surgeons are, let's be honest, and I know it's not all plastic surgeons, but a lot of them think they're God. It's a fact. Telling a 15-year-old that you're gonna take her from a 2 to a 10, I think is the perfect encapsulation of the mentality a lot of them have. And I'm glad it worked out for her, but even her, being someone who's happy with the results, is saying, yeah, 15 probably wasn't a great idea.
I had my nose done when I was 15. I wish that I didn't do it that early and I would have done it later with my face now.
I'm Dr. Jeremy White, a double board certified plastic surgeon, and getting a nose job at 15 is something that needs careful consideration. The big question is whether the nose has fully developed. However, sometimes there's either a social element to wanting a nose job to reduce being bullied or teased. In that case, if the patient is mature enough to understand the ramifications of these changes, then we might consider surgery as early as 15 when 90% of the nose growth is complete.
So this guy, and again, another plastic surgeon, is saying that a valid reason to do a rhinoplasty at 15 years old is being bullied. Are you f***ing kidding me? Well, as long as the patient understands the ramifications, they don't understand the ramifications of anything. They're 15. She's 3 years away from being able to sign a contract and 6 years away from being able to legally buy a beer. But yeah, why not? I mean, high school is hard and all that. Let me just with your face a little bit. This is the state of society currently, and we're saying let's get even more loosey-goosey with the plastic surgery talk. And here's another psyop I see being pushed on women, which is preventative aging. Preventative aging, as if aging is something you can prevent and not like an integral part of the human experience. And this is the one that really boggles my mind, because I don't know when we decided that a 19-year-old getting Botox is a normal thing to do. Forget the depressing implications of a teenager or someone in their early 20s getting an anti-aging procedure, but what does it even do?
If you're in your 20s and you're listening to this and people are talking about preventative Botox, this is a hot take,
Okay.
but I do not believe in preventative Botox.
Go off.
I think that even if you were to start Botox at 38, chances are there are no deep static lines that wouldn't be corrected on the first dose of Botox. Even if you were to start, 18 years after you were 20.
Yeah, injecting neurotoxins into your face to eliminate wrinkles when you don't have wrinkles is a wild thing to do. This is like putting on sunscreen before you go to bed, or putting on sunscreen before you go to bed because you plan on going to the beach 30 summers from now. Like, why are you trying to solve a problem that you do not yet have? And just like the steroids, once you start Botox, you're never getting off. Don't lie to me. You're locked in basically for life. Or until you go get a facelift, I guess, in your 50s. Which you'll probably need a facelift because the muscles of your face have atrophied and now your forehead is sagging over your eyes. And for what? For what? I'm not going to use any specific examples here because this is pretty harsh, but we have all seen the influencers who are 22, 23, 24, and they look terrible. They look like they're 35. Like, these procedures age you so horribly, especially the fillers. And the Botox, not so much, but it's still obvious. You can tell when someone has had Botox. I'm having a conversation with you and your mouth is moving, but the rest of your face looks like the Mona Lisa. Fucking lizard, man. You're a fucking lizard. But you know what? Maybe it's the amount of plastic surgery. Here's an observation from influencer Nadia Khaled.
This is just a PSA that most of the girls that you think are naturally beautiful have actually had quite a bit of work done. You just can't tell because they're minor enhancements and it's really good quality work. Like, I can't tell you guys how many TikTok comments I've seen on my videos of like, oh, she's the natural version of Kylie Jenner, or like, this is what Kylie Jenner would look like if she'd had no filler or no work done. And I'm like, yo. I've had a lot of work done. I've had 2 nose jobs. I do Botox every 3 months. I have lip fillers, chin fillers, all that stuff. But you can't tell because it's good quality work.
No, we can tell, Nadia. And that's no dig at her, but, we can tell. She's incredibly beautiful, and I mean that. but we can tell that you've had work done. Your face clearly has filler in it, your lips have filler in them, and your forehead is not moving. And again, that's fine, but it's this subtle promotion of plastic surgery on TikTok and throughout social media. It's just inescapable. And she's like, oh no, babe, you don't have to worry about looking like you've obviously had procedures done. You can look like me. This genuinely might be a form of like body dysmorphia. I don't know, maybe if you're living in LA or Miami and you're just so used to seeing obvious plastic surgery all the time that it just starts to look normal to you. But all of us in District 12 know that that's not what a face is supposed to look like. And this is where it ends, again, with plastic surgery just becoming the body standard. Let's keep going in this direction and looking like you've clearly had a boob job, filler, whatever. That will become the status symbol in of itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna get to a point where it won't even matter if the work you're getting done actually makes you look better or not. What matters is that you just had the work done. What matters is, do you fit the mold, even if the mold looks completely unnatural on you? Do you need Botox at 19? Of course not. But what happens when the beauty standard becomes not having face muscles? Then every other girl has it, and now you're the one weird girl left in pre-calc who dared to have a forehead that moves. Here's another woman, and again, let's internalize that she's 25 making this.
Spent $10,000 on my face this year, so I want to talk about what I've had done, what I would recommend, and what I will not be doing again. First, I guess we can start with the biggest one, which was also pretty recent, which was getting my nose done, which is honestly the majority of this cost, because that's a lot of money, I realize.
$10,000 in a year worth of procedures at 25. And it's a 7-minute long TikTok, so I'll spare you, but it's a laundry list of things that she has got done, that things that she wants to get done. And one of the things she got done was lip blush, which is essentially tattooing your lips over.
If you decide to get your lips blushed, this is my lips with nothing on. We went for like a mauve brown, but I will say that the pigment held on really hard in some areas, and in some lighting my lips look bruised.
We are essentially getting permanent lipstick out here. But again, I'm the asshole for saying, hey, maybe we should pump the brakes a little, okay, on all these procedures. Maybe we shouldn't make it normal to talk about our bodies like we're customizable characters. Or this, here's a look at Amanda McCants, who's hilarious, by the way, go follow her, she's the best. But here's her before and afters.
I'm going to tell you guys everything I did to get from this to this. I have gone through so many different appearances. I feel like every girl in their 20s has, but we're gonna get into it. So here, I'm just gonna say it. I'm poor here.
Again, she looks stunning after, but she looked stunning before. Should she do whatever she wants with her body? Yes, of course. But there are downstream effects of publicly promoting the idea that your face needs to be micromanaged. And the minute you start looking at yourself like this, you'll never stop. The day you step foot in the plastic surgeon's office is the day you never feel beautiful again. And I know there are results out there that are incredible, and that's great. I'm not speaking out against that, but it's just like the steroids, and that they're so scary because they work. Are a lot of these procedures bullshit? Sure, just like preventative Botox. Yeah, a scam. But objectively, can you upgrade your look with surgery? Yes. Saying otherwise is cope. If you're a stripper, the government literally lets you deduct the cost of a boob job from your taxes. Even the IRS agrees that there's tangible benefits to being more conventionally attractive. There's a reason they call it pretty privilege, not pretty pitfall. Yeah, pitfall was the only synonym for drawback I could find that started with a P. I work hard on these scripts, give me a goddamn break. But that's why we should be very cautious about saying that this is something that should be normalized even more, and it's already pretty normalized, because it just ends with everyone starting on procedures younger and younger, everyone getting poorer and poorer, and also somehow everyone being less satisfied with how they look. And God forbid, honestly, someone who's had a more like natural plastic surgery development come out and talk about it, because then we're really cooked. Like, everybody knows that Kylie Jenner had work done. Everybody knows that her mother just got done with a Illuminati blood sacrifice that aged her backwards 20 years. But what about someone like the other Jenner or Bella Hadid? Like women who have gotten plastic surgery, but in a more down low way. That's what's really scary, because everyone knows what a boob job is. You didn't need Kylie Jenner's nuclear launch codes for that to know that you could get silicone implanted in you. But if Bella Hadid comes out and says, these are the things you need to get done in order to glow up like me, then we're really in the dark times. But this is why I maintain, and I always will, no matter what anybody says, that actually being open about this stuff is not a win for us normies. It's not. What would be a win for us is to come together and re-acknowledge that social media is bullshit, that celebrities and influencers and bodybuilders, their whole job is to look hot, so we should stop trying to chase those ideals. And you know what? Maybe we should follow influencers who are gonna try and sell you skincare without the side of facelift.
I have zero desire in getting plastic surgery. I am on a self-love journey to learn how to love myself exactly as I was created. I also know I have a lot of young, impressionable girls that follow me, so I would never want to post that. I will admit, especially as an influencer, it is so hard to go on these brand trips and go on these brand events and look around, and everybody is perfect. Their boobs perfect, their face perfect, their lips perfect. And sometimes I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, and then I tell myself, go touch grass.
Yes, thank you, Spencer Barbosa. I'm a huge fan of your father. And also crazy how big the internet is. She's got like 11 million followers. I've never heard of her before this, but she's making a lot of sense to me. Can we just pump the brakes a little bit? That's all I'm saying. Hey, maybe a total surgical reconstruction of your face and body is not where we want the beauty standard to go. Maybe Kylie Jenner shouldn't be glazed for helping you solve an insecurity which her and her family instilled in you in the first place. Maybe we shouldn't be helping them cement the idea that your worthiness is based on your appearance, which in turn can be improved by your wealth. I mean, some of these procedures that they have now literally sound like ancient demons. Like, what the f*** is a blepharoplasty? I swear to God, at a certain point, they're coming up with the surgeries first and then pushing the insecurity after the fact. But I digress. I gotta go. I'm actually late for my tongue blush procedure. They're just gonna dye my tongue blue, so it looks like I always just got done sucking off a blue raspberry lollipop. You guys stay safe, and if you feel good about yourself, that's not allowed anymore. And if you feel bad about yourself, then I'll see you in the next video, where I promise I'll make you feel worse.